and it's not very difficult, then now you're not going to adapt to it. So it's very similar. If you do Pilates, for example, 1-to-1, then you'll be much more progressive, and it'll be a long-term a better solution. That's not to say that Pilates isn't good. Pilates is good. Pilates is great. I like it personally more for it's de-stressing, it's relaxing, you're stretching out, you're improving your posture, you're getting away from sitting behind a desk all day, which most people do. So it's brilliant for all of these things. With regards to losing weight, it's not as good as lifting weights, but it's still a very valid thing to do.
You could do both together if you want.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And yoga.
Yep, yoga's very similar to Pilates. So,
what about the blood sugar issue? Because I mean, they say the weight thing can up your blood sugar to a point. Don't you need to do a bit of cardio to sort of
up your blood sugar?
Balance it? Yeah. I mean, so for people, say, who are diabetics.
Okay, for a diabetic.
That, yeah. And don't you need to do something, some kind of, not for a long time, to sort of balance it, you know, to bring the blood sugar down?
I'm not a doctor, so I like to advise specifically about diabetics because it's a specific case, but I'm not sure that it would raise blood sugar.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Because, I mean, so for example, I used to do body pump, which is fantastic.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic for losing weight and strengthening your posture. But I'd find that my blood sugar, after the class, my blood sugar would go up. And I would have to go on the bike for, 10 to 20 minutes to help bring it down.
Any idea?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think of a mechanism of why that would
in the
help.
books that I've read, they've also said that, for
well,
diabetics. Which book? Well, I don't remember the books that I have, but it's a fact, yeah.
Okay, if that's the case, then
that's happened to me.
Okay, if that's the case, then
so it's from
in that situation, possibly yes.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying cardio is bad or that you shouldn't do it. I'm going to come on to now how you should work out. So cardio is good as part of a bigger program. It's just it's not the answer. When people are like just doing cardio, it becomes more and more and more and more until it becomes too much. In part of a bigger program with some lifting some weights, maybe some yoga and Pilates, maybe something different, trampolining we had mentioned, something fun, something you enjoy, a sport. Within a bigger program, superb. So, how should you work out? We would recommend that you start off by lifting weights in a progressive fashion, meaning that you lift more weight progressively over time. It should be short and intense. The second 30-30 body blueprint is 30 minutes. So everything that we recommend to people is based on 30 minutes a day. So you can go and work out in 30 minutes. Now that's 30 minutes of working out, not dallying around on your phone reading a magazine. But when you work out intensely for 30 minutes, that is more than enough. So you get in, you do your weights, you have short rest periods, you keep your heart rate high, which is going to give you a cardio workout anyway. It's not like you have to be on a treadmill to get your heart rate up. If you're lifting weights that are relatively heavy, at a high intensity, i.e. with short rest periods, your heart rate will be just as high anyway. So you are still doing cardio. That keeping your heart rate high, that's what sets off all your good hormones. It burns more energy and keeps you fit as well. Add to that, you do some cardio as you please. We like to recommend basically not cardio in a gym. So not sitting on the bike or standing on the treadmill, because it's boring, people don't like it, and it feels, people have negative connotations with it. They don't want to do it particularly because it's dull. Go outside, go for a hike, go to the park, take your dog for a walk, cycle in the countryside, go swimming. Do something that's a little bit more interesting, that gets you out of the house. If you get some fresh air, brilliant. If you do something sociable or something, a sport, something competitive, excellent. That for us is the best way to do cardio, because it's much more enjoyable. It's not something that you're like, oh, I need to go to the gym, walk for an hour. Walk outside, it's a lovely day, take the dog. Who doesn't want to do that? You know, it's not like I'm having to go and make myself exercise. It's something I want to do. It's a much better way to come at it. Add into that some sort of relaxing exercise, some yoga, some Pilates, Tai Chi, anything along those lines. That stuff's brilliant as well. That has so many benefits psychologically, de-stressing, improving your posture. All of that is brilliant. So again, if you can do that, that is something that's excellent, especially as you get older. Your posture and things become important. It helps you not feel achy and so anybody questions about exercise before we move on?
Can I just ask you about the weights?
Yeah.
Which I think is fantastic.
Sorry, just
I agree with what you're saying, but the issue of frequency.
Yep.
Because I know in the past, like they've said in the gym when you do weights that not to do it every day. You need to do one day and then the next day you don't do it to give your muscles a chance to recover. Is that true?
There's no reason that you can't do it every day, but you don't need to. And doing the same thing every day isn't the most, it's not the best way to do it.
But you won't damage yourself doing it every day. I would just say, I know say with dumbbells it's okay, but it's with the heavier weights.
You're not likely to damage yourself unless you're really overdoing it.
Okay.
We recommend generally 2 to 3 times a week is a good place for most people. If you start becoming athletic, if you're training for a sport, then you might want to start doing more. I train most days, for example, myself, but that's my sport. I'm not doing it to the end of being healthy. I'm doing it as a sport. For most people, 2 to 3 times a week is plenty. And
But it's okay if you want to do it 5 days a week.
If you want to, yeah.
Really get yourself feeling.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Looking like you.
So, just a quick question.
Yep.
You just mentioned about 30 minutes is enough of weightlifting to improve things. But the thing is, where does your things like warm up come in your system? Walking.
So you would warm up. Basically, my idea of a warm up is to do what you're going to do with a lighter weight. You might do a couple of minutes of just get your heart rate up a little bit, but a warm up should be specific to what you're doing. So say if you're going to do a pressing a weight overhead, say you use 6 kilo dumbbells, grab the 3s, do a set first. That's a warm up. That's how I warm my clients up personally. I think warm ups in the gym are overrated. It comes from a background of sport. Someone's going to go and do a sport. From the minute the whistle goes, the very first second, they're being as explosive and powerful as they possibly can. In the gym, you're not. It's much more controlled. It's a much safer environment. So it doesn't require the same level of warming up, personally, I think. Okay? So you might spend 5 minutes warming up and then get into it. Okay?
When did you find out about this science? Where is the evidence of this science of your system? Evidence of the science of your
That's the
system?
hormones and everything.
No,
how the
no,
body
no.
works.
I'm not talking about the hormones. I'm talking about his system of
Yeah.
actually
You missed the beginning.
weightlifting and so.
You missed
So
the
specifically
beginning.
what though?
Yeah?
Specifically to what?
Okay, I'm just asking about where is your research for this? I'd like to find
So
out.
there's lots and lots of research out in both in sort of diet and exercise and strength and conditioning about the hormonal effects, and there's lots of research about how the hormones affect the weight. Is that what you're asking?
Anyway, just
There are quite a few books in
Yes,
here
there is.
that which tell you about.
So did you have a
sort
question?
of gym.
Yeah. You said people who yo-yo diet, those are the ones you find most challenging, like to get results from. So what do you do with them?
It's going back to the first thing we spoke about the mindset. They need to understand the situation that they're in. They need to understand that they can't going on to the next yo-yo isn't going to fix it. And until they break that cycle, they're not going to get anywhere. I'll be honest, it's a difficult one with some people. Some people, they come to the end of their tether. They've been doing it for so long that they give up and they're willing to embrace what you say. Some people are still in the cycle and it is very difficult to get them out of it.
You said that their body is damaged, so what kind of regime would you be doing? Weights and
Yeah,
as well?
they basically just need to rebuild their health. So training's not necessarily particularly different. It's just that it doesn't have the same effect. It's not just immediately going to make you drop weight. It's more about rebuilding, getting them eating enough, getting them eating enough nutrients, building some muscle mass. You know, when you if you've been doing like starvation type things, you lose muscle mass, you lose bone density, your hormone levels go out to whack, and some of them plummet. You need to get these coming back, and only when they come back will you then be able to progress to where you want to be. Okay?
That means putting more protein in your diet.
Probably yes.
And carbohydrates.
Obviously it depends how much you're eating before, but yes, probably.
How do you improve your posture?
How do you improve your posture? It's not the easiest thing to answer it. What do you do? Do you work at a desk?
Yeah.
Yep. Easiest thing, stop working at a desk.
Stand up.
Yep, stand up. That you're not fighting a losing battle, but you almost are, because you spend all day in bad posture. It's very hard to get out of it. So you need to build strength in the opposing muscles. You need to stretch out the ones that get short and tight. And you basically, the biggest thing, doing it for half an hour in the gym isn't enough. It's awareness. It's understanding the posture you're in, being able to feel it, and then be consciously able to change it. So you need to be able to think, if you're sat down and you're slumped over like this, and typing away, sit up, sort yourself out. That's what you need to do. You need to keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that every 10, 20 minutes all day until it becomes a habit for you to stand up or sit up straight. It's quite monotonous and annoying, really, but it's the only way. You need to out-train these bad habits of slumping, of walking around looking at the floor, and etc.
The metabolic thing, which I think would be an issue for me as someone with thyroid problem as well as diabetes, and also for my daughter who is a vegetarian. Yeah. So is the key to it the building of doing the muscles, doing the weight training? Is that the way to increase your metabolism?
I would say the best way is probably to stop doing the bad things, so stop eating sugar. We're going to cover food more later on, so I'll semi-answer it now and semi-answer it later. In terms of exercise, yes, lifting weights, building yourself up for the hormonal effects more than anything else. Testosterone and growth hormone are the two biggest things relative to your metabolism. They're what release when you're lifting weights, and that's what will bring your metabolism up and make you burn more energy. Okay.
So how would you do a weight workout? Just with your arms and that? And
Yeah, what we'll do, we will send you something. We'll send some paper around at the end, and we've got a workout that it's in the book, and it's also online. We'll be able to send it to everyone. I don't want to get into it now because it'll take 20 minutes. Okay, is that everything about exercise? Yep, cool. Okay. I kind of covered some of this already. The first point, who's heard that if you burn 3,500 calories you'll lose a pound of fat? No?
I think I've heard something like that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure that it actually does work.
I'm not sure it does either, but that's how they would say, if it was in a lab, in a beaker, that is how it would happen. Because there is 3,500 calories in a pound of fat. So you burn it and it's gone. That's not how the human body works though.
that's some embarrassing bodies, isn't it? I'll show you the fat that you've lost.
I don't watch your boxing podcast. Tim, can you comment?
No, I don't watch either.